right. The awesome show. We are live. Keith, man, how you feeling today, brother? Man, you know, you got a Friday's usually a very busy day for us, but you know, a little different on the schedule today, man. How you feeling at the crib today?
I'm awesome, but I'll tell you, it's a little bit weird for me. I haven't been off on a Friday night since August. I looked this up. I haven't been off on a Friday night since August. I believe it was the 16th, because the football season, the first Friday night of football was August 23rd. Went right through every Friday night in the fall with high school football. We blend right into basketball. The only Friday night I really wasn't covering anything was when I was in Idaho with Lehigh out and back. But I was still really working. But it's really weird to be home on a Friday night. And then, of course, you know, I decided to take a night off, and we have a thriller tonight. We had a great ball game up at Whitehall. It was Hall of Fame night. And that game went to the wire went to the wire, and Emmaus raising their level of play, 55-55, 5 seconds to go. And Sudge Hodoreski, his real name is Seth, but they call him Sudge. He went the length of the court, got a game-winning layup, and Whitehall 57-55 over Emmaus tonight up at Dick Tracy Court. So probably where I would have gone if I was going to cover a game tonight, and I missed out on the thriller.
Yeah, it just sounds like it, man, for sure. You have any did Beat send you any stats on that? Do you have any numbers for that?
I have numbers in other games. Let me just post this up here real quick.
All right.
Let me hold on. I'm going to go to my cell phone here because I don't want to mess up the screen. As you know, we had a few issues.
Yeah, I mean,
I will tell you this. I mean, that's one of the things, too, I wanted to touch on. What is going on? We're scoring huge totals every night, and I'll give you this while I'm looking up beat stuff. Northern Lehigh lost to Saucon Valley tonight, 81-61, Colonial League game. But Kellen Bauer, Northern Lehigh. Now, this is not a great basketball team by any stretch, but Kellen Bauer, who was one of my Fab 15, he's been scoring at a high clip all year. He had 33 tonight.
Wow.
Adam Clark from Saucon Valley, big fella, 34 tonight. So in a game like this, which is okay, an 81-61 ball game, we had two kids in the 30s tonight. This is what's going on. I mean, this was a crazy week. We had, you know, Jake Puxon scores a career high 36.
Sure.
Rel Vigo scores a career high 42. Jack Robertson from Saucon Valley, he scored 30. We are getting high totals every night, almost every game. And I started the week by getting something. I don't know if you remember Matt Gallagher, who used to coach at Stroudsburg. And Matt is now in his, I believe, third year. They had the Class A champions in District 11 last year, Notre Dame East Stroudsburg. And he had a kid, Preston Prothrow, who scored 50. Now, we talked about Lehigh Christian. We talked about the fact that they really struggle. But they do have this kid named Jacob Lewis, who was the area's leading score tomb.
Yeah.
He's approaching 2,000 points, much as Nick Koval did last year. He would only be the seventh guy in Lehigh Valley area basketball history to reach 2,000, joining great players like Larry Miller, Antoine Hubbard, Ray Barbosa. You know, so he's going to be in that company maybe as early as this time next week.
Man, Keith, man. Real quick, man, Keith, man. Some live action before we start getting to the local action. I got one of a stud player on the line here from St. Joe's Prep here, Keith. Olin Chamberlain out of St. Joe's Prep. St. Joe's Prep had a major victory here today. They beat they took down Archbishop Carroll in a premier Catholic League game in Philadelphia today. St. Joe's Prep right now is undefeated in the Catholic League, the only undefeated team in the Catholic League. And we are joined here today with their senior point guard, the one and only Mr. O, the big O, wears the 0 on his chest, Olin Chamberlain. Olin, how you feeling out here today, baby?
I'm feeling great.
Olin, you're fucking... Damn it, Olin, you should know better than that. You're talking to me.
I'm feeling awesome. I'm feeling awesome.
Better than that, man.
I'm feeling awesome.
Come on, Olin,
I'm feeling awesome.
Mr. Awesome. You're feeling awesome. You just had a great, awesome victory today, man. So we appreciate that. I got on our horn here from the morning call. Keith Groller is on the horn here. Keith, no doubt.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Olin.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Well, Keith, before you get started, before you did meet Olin, I don't even know if you even did know this. You did meet Olin. I have some. You did meet Olin back in the summertime. There's Olin out there. Yeah. Boom. You know what I'm saying, Keith? That was Olin out there in the summer beach at Cedar Beach at Awesome Fest. Doing what he does there, hitting the big game winner out there, Olin Chamberlain. So we do have some experience with Olin. Olin's been to Allentown. Tell us about Allentown, Olin. Tell us about Allentown when you're out here.
No, Allentown, every single time I'm out there is a great experience. The environment, the atmosphere is fantastic. I always tell Coach Jay to schedule those night games because those are the games we love to play in. The whole city of Allentown's out there is very exciting. And those are kind of the moments my teammates live for. So being able to play in front of the whole city of Allentown at that event is great every single year.
No doubt. We love to have St. Joe's Prep in the building. You guys do an awesome job and bring your studs, come down. The whole squad comes down. But let's talk about your team right now, Olin. You guys are playing at a high level. Just had a great win against Archbishop Carroll. Tell us about the game here tonight for guys like us. Keith didn't get to see the game tonight on a live stream. Tell us about the game here tonight. Tell the people about the game.
Sure. We were 5-0 going into this game. I think Carroll was 2-3, but we knew they were still a very, very talented team. A few of their games didn't go their way, but we knew they were capable of. Well, the thing about the Catholic League is everybody's capable of beating everybody every single night. So we kind of came in with that mindset that we were ready to play and we were ready for anything to happen. We're not going to take them lightly because their record wasn't as good as ours. So we came to this game just ready to win, and the game was back and forth the entire game. And Jordan Ellerby hit a big shot at the end of the game, and we got some stops in the last 40 seconds, and we ended up getting a win out there to improve to 6-0.
Do you keep the guy anything for Olin?
Yeah, I want to ask you something, Olin. I mean, we deal with your school anyway, in football every single year, and St. Joe's Prep is like 3 dirty words up here in the Lehigh Valley in football. Now, it seems to me that the basketball a little bit less, I shouldn't say less intimidating, but maybe not as notarized as the football program, which has produced so many Division I kids, so many NFL players actually, and win state championships year after year. Are you determined to make St. Joe's Prep as big a name in basketball as it is in football?
I mean, I guess the obvious answer would be yes, but I feel like when we're playing, we're not really focusing on basketball or football. We're all one good school, one big school.
I get it.
I'm friends with a lot of the football guys, so yeah, obviously there's a little bit of competition there. They're making fun of us when we lose, or making fun of them when they lose, but it's all with one big competition at the end of the day. But my team is really just focused on winning a game every single day. The next game in front of us, we're just focused on winning the next game, and possibly, I think the PCL championship and the state championship this year.
And Olin, just talk about what it's like to compete in that Philadelphia Catholic League, which has great teams, great players. As you said, every night anybody can win, and then anybody seems like they can go off for a big, big performance. It seems to me that it is the premier league in the state of Pennsylvania for boys basketball, much like it is to a degree in football. But in football, it's 1 or 2 schools and that's it. Basketball, it seems like there's many, many more schools that are capable of winning championships and making that trip out to Hershey.
Oh yeah, definitely. The level of competition, I think, is bar none one of the best in the state, if not one of the best in the country. In the atmosphere we play in every single night is fantastic. It kind of reminds me of the night games in Allentown. Just playing every single night with the great crowd, the great energy. I think that's something that every high school basketball player dreams about doing.
Yeah, well, Olin, man, what's up next for you guys? You guys, like I said, you guys are undefeated, only undefeated team in the league right now. What game is up next for you guys? And tell us about your preparation for it. He talked about you guys being the top league. Is there preparation wise, what are you guys doing to prepare for this every single night? You're playing all these monster teams every night with high level players. What are you doing to prepare for that every game?
Sure. Well, we play Lansdale Catholic this Sunday at 12 p.m. I mean, at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So,
hold up. 12 o'clock. Hey, well, hold on. It's not the Eagles. You guys conflicted with the Eagles, or you guys mixed it?
No, Eagles are on the 3.
So I think we're supposed to play at 3. We were supposed to play at 3. They moved it up to 12. So
wait, hold on, Keith, I want you to catch that, Keith. You catch that? The game was supposed to be at 3, but the Eagles are playing, so they moved it up to 12 o'clock.
I don't blame them.
Yeah. So so we play Lansdale Catholic. I think we prepared the same way every single game. It doesn't matter what your record is. You're undefeated. We're playing you, the best team in the state. You're maybe you don't have the best record in the state. We prepared the same way every single day, and that looks like watching film together as a team, watching film by yourself. We all have huddle passwords on our team, so we're able to watch the team we play next on the huddle. So we prepare that way. We have usually two good hard practices, but we only have one because we play Sunday. So we prepare the same way every single time, and we prepare to play the right way, I feel like.
Okay. Well, Olin, man, you guys are off to us, like we said, an awesome start to the season here. We're going to keep keeping track of you guys, as you guys are right now in Eastern PA rankings, the number 1 team in 6A in the Eastern Pennsylvania. So you guys have a lot of pressure on you, But before we close here, I mean, how do you feel that pressure at all? And I mean, you guys are, like I said, a lot of bulls on you guys. Every game you guys go at now, the game is packed. I saw the crowd tonight was jam-packed. Every game, you guys have a big bullseye on your back. How are you guys handling that kind of pressure and all that kind of notoriety?
Yeah, so I think when you sign up to go to the PCL, whether you're there from 9th grade or you're transferring to the PCL, that's what comes with it, right? The atmosphere, the pressure of having to perform every single night against the best players and the best coaches in the area. So when you play these games, when you play in the Catholic League, it's not just like you want to play the best you possibly can, obviously, but you take every game with a grain of salt and you just keep pushing better and keep trying to get better. So playing in those high environments, I think that's what my team lives for, and that's what we like to do.
All right. Well, Olin, you've definitely been, like I said, playing since your 9th grade year in that kind of competition, that level. So it's good to see you guys finally a senior and experiencing some success out there with your whole teammates. So Olin, we appreciate you tapping in with us, man, scrolling through and joining us here on Game Night Live. This is Game Night Live here with Toomey Anderson and Keith Groller. So we come out, Friday nights, we review the games from tonight and also from the recap the games from the rest of the week. So we appreciate you joining in on here. I think, Keith, this is our first player on Game Night Live?
I think so. And what a great one to have. And I want to tell you something, Toom. I'll say this to Olin. St. Joe's Prep is one of those names, as I said, that, they're Billy Catholic League and they recruit and blah, 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 blah. Forget all that. Dwell on the individual. You just heard it from a very fine young man, a very bright, got his what together type of young man. So, let's not focus on the names. I'm talking to the Lehigh Valley. I'm not talking to Philadelphia. I'm talking to Lehigh Valley. We have this problem, something up our butts sometimes about the Philadelphia Catholic League and actually all private schools. But you know what? Dwell on the young men. Dwell on a kid like Olin, who is an outstanding young man. He plays the game hard. I could just tell he's an excellent student. That's where the focus should be. It shouldn't be all about boundary, non-boundary, separate tournament. I get tired of the topic, quite frankly. And Olin proves, I hope some of our Valley people are watching, because he proves there are great kids down in that area, down in that league, and I wish them nothing but the best.
Drop the mic. Bam.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
You're an excellent guy. I hope they get to see it during the state tournament.
I don't know well, actually, you know what? Yeah, we do hope to see you during the state tournament at Olin.
For his sake, not ours.
State tournament. We don't have no problems playing District 12. We kicked their butt last year. You're Roman. You're Wood. Did you beat Roman and Wood last year? Did you beat Roman or Wood last year? No, you did not. But we did. We did. So we look forward to seeing you in that state playoff. I'm not holding back on that. Olin, awesome to have you out here tonight. Keep it up, and we'll be keeping in touch.
All right, have an awesome night. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
He got it. Hey, look, that's a good point there, Toom. I mean, seriously, I think sometimes the adults get so much more wrapped up into oh, the boundary, non-boundary, what's fair, what isn't. And let's look at it. You know, obviously the non-boundary has some advantages. Obviously, we know that, but the kids don't care. I'm sure there's a lot of kids from the Valley who know Olin. They just want to compete. They just want to go play the game. They don't get all wrapped up in some of the stuff that our adults do, especially some adult administrators.
Indeed. Pretty good. Great point there. So Keith, man, we're gonna transition. I know we started with the boys here. I got a lot of my ladies on here now. We're gonna transition to a couple of the ladies.
That's great.
Yeah, man. We're gonna show them
I'd
a lot
love to see these young ladies.
No doubt. I know you would. I mean, I'm sure you wish, like I do, there were more double headers.
Yes, I do. And you know, the only time I really get to see the girls is at the A-Town Throwdown at Cedar Beach, part of Awesome Fest. And I get to see some action down there. But by and large, once we get in the season, unless they do some doubleheaders, it's hard to get to see the girls.
It's hard to see that, man. So we're gonna start off here. We're gonna bring on here the top team here in the Lehigh Valley, Keith. We're gonna bring on Coach Mack is in the building here. We'll bring on Coach Mack from Emmaus High School. Coach Mack, man. Coach Mack, welcome to the Awesome Show. How are you feeling out here today, Coach?
I'm feeling awesome. How are you?
I'm glad you're feeling awesome because, you know, we are definitely feeling awesome out here today as well. Coach Mack from Emmaus, first year at Emmaus. Tell us how that experience is going for you.
The experience so far has been amazing. People have been welcoming me with open arms. The girls are buying into the culture I'm trying to create, and they're playing hard. So that's all I could ask for as a new incoming coach, right? For my first year is, hey, they buy into your system, your culture, and play hard for you.
Indeed. Well, Keith, I know you saw that score rolling by. Emmaus was victorious today over.
I saw the score. I'm an East Penn School District taxpayer. I'm very proud of what you guys are doing. Okay.
Thank you.
And when did you play it? Because I've covered Lehigh University football for a long time. When did you play over there?
98 to 2002.
Oh, I might have. So I think I began in 2001 with Coach Lembo.
Okay. Yep. That was my last
teams.
Yeah, that was my last year when I played there. He was running backs coach, so I was still under Higgins' control.
Okay. Well, I think you are. I asked Derek Bast, who is our girls basketball beat writer, and I think you know Derek by now.
Yeah.
I said, give me a coach of the year. And he says it's a one-man race. I don't know you're not in this business for that kind of a deal.
Not at all.
But that's the respect that you've earned from not only Derek, but I'm sure the other media members. You've done quite a job. You've taken this program, which has always been at a nice level, but just seems for this year so far, you've taken it a notch or two above.
Like I said, the talent is there. Like I said, I always give credit to people who come before me. They set their precedents. And then now I just wanted to come in and put my little niche onto it and see what we can do. And for the most part, the girls have bought in. Right. We established defense was going to be our calling card. And from game to game, they've come in and played defense at a high level. So I appreciate that.
Indeed. Well, Coach Mack, man, coming from Moravian Academy, now you're in the EPC. Just tell us about the differences in that. You know, you're coming from a private school where, you know, students are paying tuition to come through there and they're looking for different avenues. And obviously now you're getting Emmaus, a public school in the EPC. Obviously different levels of competition, no disrespect, but it's definitely different levels. So tell us about your adjustment in that and from going from a private sector to now a public sector and Colonial League to the EPC.
I think it's, you have talent in the Colonial League, tons of talent in the Colonial League. And I think sometimes it gets a bad rap. But it's just an adjustment coaching wise, right? I think probably the biggest difference is probably just the speed of the game. EPC, we play probably at a faster pace. And some teams in the Colonial League can play at that level, but I just wanted a different challenge. I love Moravian Academy, what they've done for me. They gave me an opportunity to achieve my dreams of coaching at the high school level. So I will always be grateful for them for that. But just getting in the EPC where, I watch my daughter come up through and play, and everybody say, hey, if you can coach, you got to coach at that level. So I thought it was my time. I put my hat in. Emmaus thought, hey, maybe this guy deserves a chance, gave me one, and I'm just trying to make the most of it.
Indeed. Well, indeed, girls are definitely making the most of things right now. We got to experience you guys, see you guys on this past weekend at Bethlehem Catholic, where
Yes.
your ladies fought back, man. They fought back. That was a very competitive game, Keith. Back and forth action. Very high paced game. Coach Mack, man. Girls were going up and down the court, getting shots up. It wasn't, some of the slow down, moving side to side. Obviously, respect that kind of basketball as well. But this game was very fast paced, up and down. And your ladies came through and stepped up really big.
Yeah, I think this was outside of our Hazleton game was the only game we lost the rebounding battle. And Coach Arnold did amazing job of changing it up and went with small ball kind of thing. So it took me a while to kind of figure that out and kind of adjust to it. But we preached that. I'm one of the biggest advocates. I think just high school basketball needs the shot clock. In here, so kids can't slow down. I think we do them a disservice because when they go to the next level, hey, we trying to push and transition to secondary break, and then we get into our offense. Here, sometimes it just seems like, oh, let's just run the offense that we've been running for many a years, and it's no disrespect for years before us, but I think the game has changed, and I think we need to adapt as a whole. And playing a faster paced game, getting out in transition, seeing what we can do. Once we attack, if nothing's there, now you can come out. Now you can run a offense. But I think we're the type of school that we teach kind of more so concepts than running just standard plays, set plays. We have those in when things get boggled down. But for the most part, we just teach concepts and want the girls to play off a high basketball IQ and the instincts.
Coach, are the people in the community treating you well? I hope they are. I mean, the boys, they had a near win tonight. I mean, they lost by 2 points at the buzzer. Tough one, but it's been a tough year for the boys program. But I would think the community is excited about what you're doing. It's a strong when the teams are doing well, they come out. Obviously, it doesn't take many people to fill that gym, but I'm hoping they're creating a great environment for you.
Yes. Like I said, I you hear stories and things like that, but I've always been one to let me go and figure it out for myself. Let me see how they embrace me and how what I give to them, and they've been nothing but great to me. And I hope they are enjoying what we're doing so far and see the vision that we're trying to set for the program going forward.
Indeed. Well, vision's definitely been looking like we like what the vision's being set out there, and we're getting joined here. Sorry about the little lateness. I should have had Coach Medina on a little earlier, but Coach, man, first of all, real quick, man, how you feeling out here today, Coach? You doing good? Doing well?
Feeling awesome, baby. Feeling awesome.
That's right. You're really feeling awesome, man. Coach Medina, former coach here at Bethlehem Catholic. How many state champions? I got to address you correctly. How many state champions you got?
Oh, man. Oh, man. I say we have two, but we should have got that third one. COVID, 29-0. That kind of derailed us there. But nonetheless, that's a credit to the kids, the staff, and, that we had. Some nice and great runs.
Indeed. Well, we're talking girls basketball here, so we had to get one of the best girls coaches in the state of Pennsylvania to ever step through here. Coach Medina's on the horn here. Coach Medina, you got Coach Mack here. What do you got for Coach Mack here? New coach in the EPs, not a new coach overall, but in the EPC this year. What do you have for Coach Mack?
What's going on, Coach Mack? How we doing?
I'm good, Coach. How's everything?
All right. Hey, listen, I was listening to you, and you brought up the word culture. And I'm a big culture guy. They say culture either works one of two ways. It's either going to work against you or it's going to work for you. And for me, I'm interested. What are a couple like core values that you had to instill when you took over the program at Emmaus and you went about building your culture?
Yes, accountability and discipline, right? If we're disciplined in whatever we do, whether it's from drill to drill, in the classroom, outside of the classroom, when we step into our community, if we're disciplined, And anything we do, we should be fine. And we take accountability where we fall short. And I think the girls, for the most part, does do that very well. We come to practice, they know if the energy's not there. We have leaders that steps up and kind of set the tone. And I think that's what you need. You need those leaders in there that are willing to come in here and set the tone. And you're not hearing it all from the coaches. So I have a great group of captains that lead by example. So all I need to do is give a look, and they take it from there. So that tells you your culture is being established, where the coaches they're the last ones to say something, right? And your team doesn't take it personal. They kind of say, all right, I need to lock in, right? I'm hearing it from somebody I respect and that's putting in the same type of work that I am, and they just go from there. Like I said, it's a great group of young ladies to coach. They listen. They're very coachable. Um, I know I'm hard on them, but they say, Coach A, I know why you're doing certain things, and we believe in you. So I appreciate that from them.
Great
Hey,
answer.
Toom, I got Toom.
Please, Keith.
What is Jen Risley's married name? Because Jen Risley's daughter's in that Emmaus girls basketball program. She's my dentist. I don't know if she's yours, but she talks about you a lot.
Yeah.
What's Jen's married name? Is there? I believe her kid's in the program.
I would know this. I mean, I think it's Risley. I knew she goes by Dr. Risley.
No, she does, but her daughter goes by the husband's. I mean, by the family name.
Yeah. Now you say that. I didn't really even pick that up on the girls though, man. But shout out to Dr. Jen Risley, Parkland and Muhlenberg alum. I always got to throw that out there. The best dentist in the Lehigh Valley for sure. And she does have her daughter's out there, a junior, I believe, at Emmaus. Plays JV and varsity. Get some quick runs on there. Before going any further, I want to show a little bit of highlights of that action up there at Emmaus. You guys see, man, energy was right in that building out there. Coach, before I get passed it on to Coach Medina and so forth, I want to ask you one more thing. Your players, I'm gonna talk about some of your players out there.
Okay.
What player in particular, Keith? I'm gonna come to you on this one, Keith. You remember the old Detroit Pistons, Keith? Back in the 88 and 89, Keith. Of course. They had a player off the bench. Remember, what was that player that came off the bench, Keith? Oh, I threw a stumper on him.
They called him the microwave.
Vinny
Johnson.
Vinny Johnson.
The microwave Vinny Johnson. So when I go out there and I see the Emmaus Green Hornets play, they've seen him a couple of times now. Olive Whitney, all right, a player, the Valley. If you guys don't know her, y'all better know about her, all right? Sharpshooter. She comes off the bench and that thing is catching and ready to rip. You saw in that highlight, she hit the last three in there. But she's an awesome shooter. I just love. So when I see that, it shows me that you talk about culture, people are accepting roles, all right? Because she's obviously a player that, possibly could start. I don't want to disrespect. I'm sure you hold the Nami team, but she's very talented. Could be a quote unquote starter, but she's accepting a role coming off the bench, and she's giving you guys excellent energy with great shooting. So I just want you to drop some knowledge out there on Coach Whitney, and then Coach Medina, follow that up about bench play, how important that is, please.
Well, you look for an instant spark off the bench. And like you said, I don't really look at her as, I just think it is as a starter that is just coming off the bench type of thing. She knows what's expected of her. I tell her every time I expect 8+ threes to fire up every game, no matter what if they're falling or not, right? So you see many a times that she may struggle in the first half, but she finishes strong. And that's just all of it. Just telling her, hey, keep going, kiddo. Keep shooting it. Don't hesitate, right? Because we're going to need you. They're going to fall in the end. Just keep doing it. And she puts in the work, whether it's, hey, coach, can we shoot extra after practice? She puts in the work to be that type of player. But what people underestimate about her is her defense. Her defense is up there just like the shooting, right? She plays solid defense. So, hey, she can get it in transition on her own. So, hey, you look for those type of people that you can get off the bench and give you 10 to 15, right? You get a 10 to 15 point score off the bench along with your starters. That's a good problem to have.
Indeed, man. Well, you know what, Coach Mack, man, we appreciate you spending some time here with us after your game tonight. I know it's getting a little late. Yeah, you know, but this is what it is. Game night live. We get a little late. We want to talk about our late, so we appreciate you joining us here. Good luck to you, man, as you guys continue on. All to a blazing start right now, right? I believe you guys are 14-1 right now, with only blemish to Hazleton. So much love to you, much power to you, much respect to you, what you're doing out there in your first year. And we look forward to see you guys. Have anything to close out here, Jose or Coach Medina or Keith?
No, man. Hey, keep doing what you're doing in that community. It's a special community.
You're a former coach there, Coach, right? You coached there.
I did.
Yeah.
So, but no, he's doing a great job, Coach Mack. Man, much love, and keep those girls playing hard.
All right, I appreciate you.
And Coach, I just want to see. I hope to see you at PPL Center. I believe it's like 3 weeks from tonight. It'd be like the EPC championship game. Actually, be 3 weeks from last night. I want to see you there. I don't get to see a lot of girls action, but I know that's one doubleheader that you want to be in, the girl-boy EPC championship doubleheader. I think you got a great shot at being there.
Hey, as I tell the girls, we can't think too far ahead, but as long as we keep
media does. Media always does.
I get it. As long as we keep going 1-0, we should be there, right? That's the goal. Go 1-0, and then we good. Off to the next one. So 1-0. That's all we think about.
Awesome.
All right,
Mack, man. Appreciate you, Coach Mack, man. And we'll be keeping in touch. And I know those Trojans are coming back. I know you guys got my Trojans.
Yeah, we got second to last game. So
yeah, we'll be seeing you again. We'll be seeing you.
Okay.
We'll be seeing you again. All right.
Hey, we don't duck competition. We love it. So hey, we want to see it. We like it. I know Parkland, great team. Like I said, solid game, especially what they do over there. He has those girls playing hard every night. So we know we got to bring our A game. We can't come less than perfect. So
flexing, Coach. I see you flexing. I see you flexing that green. I see you flexing.
Nah. So yep, that's another one. 1-0. So if we can get that, we'd be good.
All love, Coach. We'll see you soon, Coach.
All right.
All right, the awesome show, Game Night Live. We are on live here tonight with our co-host Keith Groller.
And Toom, by the way, I'm seeing that shirt that you got last year. I mean, from the Awesome Fest tournament last year. Right. I wanted to show you the freebie I got recently. I want to show you this if I can get it unfolded here. It's from my good friend and yours, Richie West. Can you see that?
I see it.
Supporting the Panthers. You know, and I'm just going to put it out there. If you enjoy our awesome show and you want to send me some shirts like this, I will wear your shirt on the air and promote your team. Now, Toom, and I just realized that was the Barbie look last summer. I don't know if I'd want that shirt, but you know what? I haven't gotten an Awesome Fest shirt from you for years. But Richie, you're getting respect down here, baby.
That's an awesome plug.
Pride.
That's an awesome plug.
Pride,
I like that.
right here in the Lehigh Valley, Pocono Mountain West.
Jose, you know all about marketing, man. How important is that marketing?
That's important. It's big. Keith got that eagle green. I see that.
No. I got a Ram shirt in the closet here.
No, I see that eagle green, baby.
Oh no.
Great look tonight. Do that, this week. You know what Keith doesn't do, Jose? Keith doesn't do T-shirts. I know if Keith, he does not do T-shirts. I've never seen him wear.
Look at you. I got it close by because it's getting late. I wear the T-shirts to bed. I wear T-shirts to bed every night. Richie, again, if you want to get some promo in this show, send me the shirt. I'll wear it for you on this show sometime over the rest of the season.
Can I send you a Paul Skeens Pirates?
Oh, no.
Paul Skeens Pirates.
Wow. There you go, man. Awesome show. Game Night Live. Your host, Toomey Anderson and Keith Groller. We're joined with a special guest here today, Coach Jose Medina, two-time state champion and multiple, I don't even know how many district titles my brother has, man. Champion in the league. Well, we're going to be joined here. We have some more guests here to join here today as we continue on. I want to pop in here first. A lady here, but you know, she got a lot of things going on here, not just in the boys' world here. We're joined here by Bethlehem Catholic assistant. I love how she put that in there. Boys assistant coach, Miss Katy Mitton. Katy girl, how you feeling out here today?
Oh, I'm awesome, Toom. How are you?
We know how we're feeling. We're definitely feeling feeling really awesome out here today. We're joined here live by Coach Katy Mitton from Bethlehem Catholic. Katy, I guess we'll jump into Bethlehem Catholic a little bit on your team here so far. Great win last night. You guys took down, was it Pleasant Valley? Who did you guys play last night?
Yeah, Pleasant Valley.
Pleasant Valley, great win. Just drop some quick notes about that game.
So I actually wasn't there last night.
Okay.
Today's actually the first day I felt like a normal human being. I've been dealing with the norovirus. So but from what I hear,
I got some notes for you, Keith. I got some notes.
Jackson Wickenheiser. He had a big
Yeah.
night.
Yep.
6
Yeah.
threes.
Wick went off. I got some insider scoop from the Greg Matton as he updated me. But yeah, no, I think it was a good bounce back game from Tuesday's game at Emmaus. I think, we're very much a team that's going to show up every single night. And we're going to, our guys are going to play their butts off. And, sometimes the basketball gods just don't reward you on some nights. But, Jackson got rewarded last night with some big time threes. So really excited heading into a game tomorrow. Hopefully we can keep that energy and that win streak going.
Sure. Tomorrow night against Truman, I believe, Truman High School out of District 1 area. Bring us out here to Coach Medina and Coach Katy. So, Coach Katy, female.
She doesn't have her Eagle green on right now.
She is definitely a big Eagles fan. You know that. She knows better than that when it comes on Eagles gear on my show. She knows better than me.
Hey, I have my cup, so I know Toomey. I know Toomey really appreciates it.
Sickening, man. Katy, you're flourishing in the males game. Coach Medina, you flourish in the females game. Why don't you to go back a little bit about how it is being an opposite gender in those fields?
Well, I'll start with ladies first. Ladies first. Go ahead, Coach Katy.
Coach Medina, it's good to see you. A long time no see.
I'll tell you, one of my daughter Talia's favorite coach, still to this day, Coach Katy, my daughter Talia's favorite coach. I'll tell you that.
Love me a Talia Medina very much. It's kind of crazy. I mean, looking back on it, this is my 5th season already. On the sidelines with the boys at Becca and Scott, and I always give credit where credit's due. And Scott is the reason I'm in this position. He is someone who has always believed kind of in me. I've known Scott for a really long time, back to my playing days, both in high school and in college. But Scott has really allowed me to flourish as a coach. And I think that was the biggest thing coming in when I came into the program five seasons ago, was the fact that, he wasn't bringing in a female coach. He was bringing in another coach on the staff. And he is very much a culture guy as well, and really set that standard with our guys from day one, and have really allowed me to, kind of go in there and allow me to grow, not only from a coaching perspective, but also from a personal perspective. It's always funny when you're around high school age boys, which you'll learn every single day. But they're such a great group of guys. Some of the most coachable groups I think I've ever coached. I haven't been coaching long, but I will say it has been my career path since I graduated from college. And I think, of my 5 seasons now here, You know, some of the groups that we've had come out of Becca are some of the most coachable players that I have ever had. And I think, you know, building those relationships at the high school level allows you to, you know, build those relationships as well, you know, once they're on to the next level and playing in college and watching them play in college and still continuing to build those relationships. So it is always fun. You know, I still kind of get those looks from opposite coaches sometimes and refs and being like, are you sure you're at the right game tonight? But it's been a blast, and, you know, I wouldn't change it for the world. So again, always give credit where credit's due. And, you know, Coach Scott is the reason that I'm in these shoes. And I, you know, can thank him till I turn blue in the face, because this has been an awesome opportunity for me.
Well, before I let you go, Jose, I got to bring this guy. Look what you done started, Jose. Look what you done started. Look what this guy got.
Oh my God!
Look what you started, Jose. Look at what you started.
You listen. I'm in the Card Ram Den. If the Rams win, we change the name to the Ram Card Den. I got the Cardinals World Championship here. I got some banners over here. I don't want to pan over that way, but hey, let's hope. Look, I can't hate the Eagles. Man. Saquon Barkley was a wonderful kid to cover. So was Jahan, especially Jahan in basketball, man. He was dynamite. If they win, they win. But I'm still rooting for my guys from Los Angeles on Sunday. Indeed. This, by the way, Nate Hobgood-Chittick jersey. Nate, of course, an Allen product. He was a member of the Greatest Show in Turf.
Oh,
the 2000 Super Bowl champions. So I'm representing Nate.
Look at that.
Keith, they're 1-5 in bad weather, and you know that snow's coming on Sunday.
Here we go.
Just in time, man. I just hope it's a good game. That's all.
Because with Dita, man, same thing. I'm shaking that back to you now with you know, opposite genders playing and coaching in that girls' world. How tell us about that experience.
Well, listen, growing up early, you know, I was a Boys and Girls Club member. And, you know, that's where I started coaching. I started coaching at the Boys and Girls Club. And from there, you know, Coach Katy hit the nail right on the head with building relationships. And from there, I was able to get into Deerhoff High School as an assistant in Emmaus, as an assistant with Coach Billy Dunn. Shout out Lehigh basketball. But, you know, you talk about range of kids, you know, seeing kids from different sides of the tracks. And you appreciate that. You appreciate families. You appreciate the relationships that you build. And I think all of that, you know, when you mix it all together, that blend really helped diversify my portfolio in terms of just, you know, working with kids, girls, so to speak. And it's been a blast, you know, just being able to coach all the kids that I've been able to coach over the years. Right now, teaching at Liberty. I got to give a shout out tonight. I heard you guys talking about the boys and all the boys, the high scoring. Well, I got the first dibs from my daughter. Yes, tonight that was there in East Stroudsburg South. Ava Kopetsky dropped 40 on her birthday. So big shout out to Coach Carnes winning his 50th game tonight and the Liberty girls basketball team.
Yeah, indeed, man. 50 ball for Ava Kopetsky. I mean, yeah, Keith, like I said, there's a lot of scoring. We had a lot of scoring going on right now in the area here, man. We talked about. I want to bring up. I'm bringing my last guest here. I'm gonna bring him in here, Mr. Coach Moser, man. I'm bringing him in here for his last segment here. Tommy boys in the building here. I know Tommy and Katy. We all have a lot of connections back in our days here. But you guys each talked about coaches. I want to ask Katy about this here. Katy. You guys do this after every game, win or lose or draw. All right, you got these kids. I don't know if you guys can see them, right? You got them here. They got chains on and cowboy or construction hats and hammers. Looks like a big hammer there. See, but you got to look at them. This one here, you see, looks like Parker here. I don't know if you guys can see. Got some smiles on his face, so obviously you can tell. Yeah. That's a win. You know, that's a win out there. And then you got some other ones where they come out and they look like this, and, you know, obviously you can tell that's not a victory. That's not a victory. But the key is you guys do it after every game, win or lose. Tell us about that. You know, about that. And that's obviously a part of your culture. What about that? Why do you guys do that?
Yeah, so that was something that coming into my time with the boys that Scott had started. And it's really to kind of set that precedent of being about the team rather than yourself. So just to kind of give you some definitions of what each of those stand for, the sledgehammer is our chairman of the board, so it's our rebounding leader for each game, which obviously is one of those things that I think is a lost art sometimes. I think a lot of the times you have, these players just focusing on, can I get mine? Can I get my points? So it really allows our guys to that mental toughness and that physical toughness to be able to get those boards. So that's the sledgehammer one. The hard hat or the construction hat is our hard hat, which is basically the guy that is out there and playing his butt off. Whether it's going out there and getting a loose ball, whether it's going out there and taking a charge, whether it's, just going out there and giving us minutes when we need it. And then the last one, the chain, is our captain of the culture. Really, what is it that defines, Bethlehem Catholic boys basketball? Our saying, you can see it on the sign. Our mantra every single year is easy to play with, hard to play against. And it's really the definition of that. So, sometimes it's, some of the JV guys that are on the bench with us, that are in the games, that are, leading the cheers on the bench, or, someone that's cleaning up, the bench after a game. It's the small things. And, again, it goes back to the fact of that's our culture and wanting to be a team player. And these are the small things that mean the most. So yeah, you can definitely tell the pictures that were coming out of a win and the ones that were not so great on our end. But the nice thing is it is something that we keep consistent, whether the scoreboard's our way or not that night. So it's something that our guys, I think, really look forward to be able to earn, because all three of those are earned awards.
Awesome indeed. Awesome indeed. We'll quick up districts. All right. I think you guys are right now 7 and 9. I'm not sure in the 4A, Keith, you might even know or some information on this, or Tommy or Jose. Is that a thing? How many teams that they have a limit or a cap?
Well, they're going to take a minimum of 6, I believe, in 4A this year.
They take a minimum.
There's
of 6
a formula that Bob Hartman always gives to me, and I always forget it. You take the number of teams that are in that classification, you round up one, you can round up one, and then you divide it by 2, and that's the number, a minimal qualifiers. Now, Becca gets to 500, they're going to be in no matter what. I mean,
right.
And that's always the target. You want to go 500 either in your league or overall. And I believe that you have a better shot at 500 in the league, Katy?
Probably overall.
Overall,
I think
okay.
Tomorrow's going to be a big one. It'll get us to 8 and 9. And then we've got a tough stretch. I mean, I think that's, I listening to Olin earlier and, talking about the Philadelphia Catholic League. I think it's the same thing with the EPC. Like, you go out and any night is anyone's game. I think that's the beauty of, one, the game of basketball, but also the EPC itself. I think, like you said tonight, like Whitehall and Emmaus came down to the wire. So, we play again non-conference game, our last non-conference game tomorrow. And then we've got a stretch of Liberty and Nazareth next week.
Yeah, you go right back through that Northampton County division.
We go through, exactly.
Which I still think might be the toughest of divisions, Katy. I mean, Lehigh County's got Parkland and Whitehall, and Allen's been better than advertised. But in Central Catholic, of course. But I think that that Northampton County division is top to bottom pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree with you, Keith. I mean, I think about our games last week. I mean, we have Northampton down to the wire. We win by 4. We have, our first TV game against Easton last Friday. We win by 4. Like, those are just, you're grinded out, tough as nails, who's going to, give in first type of games. And our guys have really stepped up to that challenge this year. And like I said, I think this team that we have this year, just wants to compete. And like I said, it's the EPC is just the EPC year after year. And it is really such, I think, being a product of the EPC, it is really, really fun to kind of see how it evolves each and every single year. And, I always think like every night we open up Twitter, I'm like, there's always, at least one score. You're like, wow, that was
I'm the same
not
way.
what anyone expected. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun, but I think, we've got a good stretch coming up here. We've got a home game tomorrow, home game Tuesday versus Liberty, which, we lost to them by 4 on their home court within that was our second game of the year. So, a lot of growth, a lot of, change in good ways, since then. So it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna come down to it.
It's funny, man, when coaches talk, man, and I was there. It was only our second game of the year. It was only their second game of the year too. You know what I'm saying? So they got some growing and so forth.
Thanks, Toomey.
But no question, though, man. With Kate, man, we appreciate you getting awesome with us here tonight. Hopefully you get better. That Nora, man, it's going around. I know you've been throwing up, I guess.
I was like, I would not wish it on my worst enemy. Yeah, it was brutal.
Going out both ways, man. But we appreciate you getting awesome with us here today. Dropping some knowledge on here at Bethlehem Catholic. Good luck. Hope we can make it out there tomorrow. Don't get the team sick. If you can make it out there. But good luck to Becca, man. You got 5 more wins. Gotta get 5. Gotta get 5. Man.
Thanks, guys. It's good to see everyone.
Great to see you.
Bye, Katie.
All right. The awesome show, Game Night Live. Toomey Anderson, our host, and our other host, Keith Groller, with our guest here right now, Tommy Moser and Coach Jose Medina. Appreciate everyone joining in here today, man. We've been going through a lot of different things here. Touch a little bit about the girls, a little bit about the guys' action with Becca right there. I guess let's go back and let's keep highlighting some of these accomplishments, Keith. There's been a lot of different people who have made some big strides out there. I want to show some love, like the shout outs out there. We got this one here from Bangor, Avery Nelson. Avery Nelson has 1,110 career points, placing her way up there, third on the Bangor's all-time scoring list. So Bangor's a 5A team right now. They're doing pretty well, and I think they're second or first in the 5A standings out there. So shout out to senior Avery Nelson out there. Jose, you ever get to see her Avery play?
No, that name is familiar. We played against them twice in district finals. So I do recall the name, and congratulations to her. 1,100 points.
11.
That's something to be said.
No doubt. Stay in the girls' world here. From Lincoln, Bria Cringe hit 1,000 point out there for Lincoln senior Bria Cringe. Shout out to you, Leah, there. Northwestern, you probably know her for sure. Northwestern got Kara Thomas, all-time leading scorer in Northwestern history, 1,259 points and counting. Tell us about her game, Jose. What about her game?
Oh, well, I haven't got a chance to see her per se, but I know that's a strong program. It's a strong program up there. Perennial Colonial League. I know Coach Deutsch, he does a great job with those kids. They had another girl up there that went to Army, if I'm not mistaken, probably about 8 years ago. So she must have passed her. Or was it the I think
Northern Lehigh had the girl. Amy Ortner went from Northern Lehigh to Army.
Yes.
Right.
And they had Sarah Jones too. Sarah Jones, that was a tough girl, tough player as well. But yes, it was Paige Severance. Yes. So congratulations to her.
No doubt. Tommy boy, man. Notre Dame, East Stroudsburg. Keith mentioned him earlier. I forgot what's the new coach at Notre Dame. Is it
Matt Gallagher used to coach at Stroudsburg.
Indeed. And Brandon Protheroe. I'm not sure if I said his name. I apologize.
Preston had 50 against Lehigh Christian in a game that Lewis had 31.
Wow. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm mixing them up. I think I mixed up the two names there.
The kid that scored 50 is Preston Protheroe.
Okay, Preston Protheroe. I'll copy
that. Senior for the Spartans up there, and they are defending District 11 Class A champs.
Keith is like Ask Siri of Lehigh Valley basketball. Let me tell you, Ask Siri. We're gonna ask Keith. Oh my gosh,
this is what he does. Man. This is what he does, man. And
I just happened to do the scoring leaders. We did our Fab 15, and Bethlehem Christian's got 2 in the Fab 15, and they're both juniors.
Okay,
Gabe Transu and Miles Harris. I mean, they're both dynamite players. And of course, you showed Transu, 1,000-point score already. Bethlehem Christian has got a really, really nice program. In just their third year of existence as a program, they're doing great work. And some of our, our Class A schools, our private schools, Lincoln Leadership, Bethlehem Christian, they're doing quite well. Now, I had another kid from Salem Christian, which is over McCungy. Yeah. They had a kid reach 1,000 points. So, hey, we focus on the EPC a lot. We focus on the Colonial League, but we say this all the time, Toom, and you have a good beat on them. There's a lot of talent, even at the smaller schools and the private schools in the area.
For sure, indeed. Definitely that's our quick shout outs out there. So some of the players out in the area doing great work. And last but not least, I'll give a shout. It is a PIAA officials week. So we're going to show us a lot of love out there to all the officials out there. We thank you guys for all the work you guys are doing out there. It's not an easy job. You sit in those stands and you hear all the craziest things out there from those officials. Tommy, man, any of those officials you're familiar with?
I see Dennis McWhite in there for sure.
Dennis McWhite, man. Dennis McWhite will be inducted into the
Chris Pinson. That's
Alan Canary, Dennis McWhite, Whitehall, Zephyr, Chris Pinson. I'm not sure who that is on the far left. Yeah,
Is that Boylan? Is that Boylan?
No, that's not Boylan.
That's not Kevin Boylan.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either. But you know who does a very good job. I don't know if you guys have seen yet, but Hut's kid, Kyle Hutnick.
Very good.
He does a very good job. I watched him, saw him twice already this year. He really has good mechanics. He's improved a lot. As you guys know, you've talked about it before. Need officials around here, and the older veterans teach our younger guys. And Kyle's got a future if he wants to move up into the college ranks. He does a really good job with the whistle. So speaking of players, Toomey, I want to put somebody on your radar for Wilson. Okay, Wilson Green Pond. Keith, I don't know if you've seen this young man yet. Lafayette
Acree?
Lafayette Acree, sophomore.
He had 30.
He had 30 against Notre Dame in the Crusader gym. So I'm not sure the last time that Pat Boyles lost a home game by 20 points. I did that game. I called that game last Saturday with Al DiCarlo for D11 Sports. And Acree, maybe I jinxed them because I told you to put Acree on your radar. They lost to Salisbury tonight. I'm telling you, the way they played against Notre Dame last Saturday, they probably would have beat half the teams in the EPC. They looked unbelievable. Now, apparently they have a problem with consistency because they lost to Northern Lehigh. Now they've lost tonight to Salisbury. But you don't go into Notre Dame.
Tommy, they also lost to Palmerton. Palmerton's struggling this year.
And they lost to Palmerton. But you don't go into Notre Dame and win by 20 unless you're a pretty darn good basketball team. So Tommy, I will trust them to get it right for the postseason, I would think.
That had to be the shocker of the year.
Well,
okay?
There was
I know it's a rivalry, but Notre Dame does not lose at home. They just don't.
There was nothing fluky about it. Pat used like 2 or 3 timeouts to stop runs. They had a guy, Wilson. Let me look I have his name right here. Isaiah Singleton to him. He averaged 2.6 points coming into the game. He scored 26 points. Okay. So they were just like, it was like they took the Super Mario Brothers booster mushroom and they were just flying all over the place. It was unbelievable. So I'm telling you, they just were not going to be stopped. Pat just finally looked around and was like, what are we going to do? It wasn't like they just were all over the place. They played intense. It looked like there were 6 guys on the floor, and they were pretty impressive to me. So that's a name to remember. And Acree, he's a 6'3" sophomore, and he's got a nice, solid upper body. He's got great hands, good footwork. He knows how to play the game. So that's a young man to keep an eye on.
You know, we love those gems. We love those tidbits out there, Tom. We love those tidbits. I'll definitely keep
Super Mario Booster Mushroom. I like that one,
Coach. I didn't know what else to say.
I might take that one. Yeah. I need you to play tonight like the Super Mario Booster Mushroom. I like that, man.
Everybody. I know we've all used to
that to Saquon.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be on fire like I just ate the. I just ate the flour. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be on fire like I just ate the flour. You know what I mean?
The game stops.
I got to be careful with talking about eating flowers and being yeah, let me chill with that too. Chill with that. Here we are, the Also Show Game Night Live here. We're on the horn here with Tommy Moser, co-host Keith Groller, and the state champion Jose Medina. Before we get I'm gonna continue on here, a couple things. I want to show you guys. Keith, you have Keith Dandy Dozen that we're gonna pull up here as well. But I also have for the ladies, Keith, we're gonna go with Toomey, the awesome 12. Keep the awesome 12 for the ladies here. So we're gonna bring that up here and show you exactly what we have here. Hold on 1 second here, trying to get this off my thing here. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. The Valley, the awesome girls rankings. We're gonna show the boys here. Look at the boys here real quick. All right, trying to find those. Where my ladies at? The ladies, girls. Apologize on that. Here we go. All right, here we go. Our ladies, top 12 teams here from the area. We got number 1 is Emmaus. We have Liberty at number 2, Easton 3, Parkland 4, Northwestern 5, Becca at 6, Nazareth at 7, Central at 8, Deerup 9, Notre Dame at 10, Palmer at 11, and Northampton at 12. Those are our first edition here of the Awesome 12 here, our ladies rankings here to determine the top teams here in the area. And one of the teams I got to catch yesterday was Deerup, our number 9 team. Man, the Huskies, they have some talent, man. They really do have some talent, Jose. I mean, they're led by Keith. You might know Justin. I remember his name, McChristian. Remember McChristian?
Jerry McChristian.
Yeah, his daughter's right here. The one on the end, the tall lady at the end here, Justice. They have a solid team with obviously Jayla Rosario, who was an all-league player last year. Anaya Holder, and a Price. They really have a really solid team out there, and they're led by the general, of course,
Coach Piston.
Coach Piston. Real quick there, Coach. Before I get into Keith on that, Keith, drop some gems on Coach Piston, man. Your relationship with her, how long she's been in the game?
With Kathy?
Yeah, man.
Oh God, I remember Kathy. I kind of grew up with her in the east side of Allentown and know her brothers. Jack Schulte. She's a Schulte.
Okay.
And Jack used to run the Allentown rec department. He nearly fired me one year when I had the pool over at Keck Park, which is no longer there. And I was the pool manager, and I decided to give the money back because it started raining. And Jack, her brother, nearly fired me. He said, "You can't give money back. I don't care. I don't care if it rains." I said, "Oh no, okay, Jack, I won't do it again. But I go back. We talked about probably the best team that we've had in girls basketball to never win a state championship was the 82-83 Deerup Huskies. Kathy was on that team. I spent a lot of time with that team. I was the girls beat writer in 82-83. It's my first beat. And they were 30-0. And they went all the way to the state quarterfinals. And I don't want to say that the officials took it away from them, but the officials took it away from them. And a lot of bad calls in that game. Tommy Young was the coach, and Tommy Young's father was the scorekeeper. He got thrown out. He got teed up and thrown out as the scorekeeper. That's how bad it was. But it was a great team. They recently honored 2 of those young ladies, Kelly Leibensberger and Joyce Phillips. They were both star players, great players, 1,000-point scores. Kelly went to, I believe, Seton Hall, and it was just a shame. But Kathy was on that team. I go way back with Kathy Piston. No one. She would be offended right now, even though this is Rams. She would be so angry that I'm wearing Allen colors tonight. She is all about Deerup. She just bleeds Deerup blue and gray, and she would be offended if she saw me in this jersey tonight.
Well, yeah, man. Well, the game yesterday played Parkland. At one time, they were up 35-15 in the first half. They were racing up and down the court, had great ball, great pressure. Full court press was working. A lot of pressure out there. And but those Trojans, man, those Trojans, they fight back. They fought all the way back and actually beat Deerup by I think it scored 56-51. So it was an excellent effort out there for
that game was overtime. Went to overtime.
Yeah, went to overtime, exactly. Yeah, went to overtime. And they just kept battling back. And I'm trying to think. I thought I had some clips of that here. I have one of the players, Aneri Megala. She went out there and dropped 20, had 20 points out there for the Trojans against Deerup. So I'm going to drop her. Let's see what Aneri had.
This is Awesome TV.
And we are here today with Aneri Magala, a junior at Parkland. Aneri, awesome day today. Tell us about the efforts.
It's a team game. That's everybody contributed today, every single person. Lenny, one of our best players, got hurt, our point guard, and honestly, we just pulled together as a team, and that was a team effort. Right?
Aneri, you're playing multiple positions out there. You're playing center, forward, guard. Tell us about your versatility out there.
It's just, hi Eddie. It's just, I played every position now, being a junior. Freshman year I played the 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm playing the 5, and I played the 3 last year, so I'm just used to all of it. So.
All right, well, you ladies are making a great push, having a couple wins in a row. Tell us about how that feels.
It feels great to get the momentum back up after a couple of tough weeks. So, I mean, we're just going to keep going up from here. So.
Awesome.
There's a junior, Aneri Magala, who's very, very, talented player. She's she obviously, I think coach, she probably played when you were coaching maybe 2 years ago or so. She's a guard, as a freshman at that time. So now she's obviously maturing and getting stronger. So with Coach Olsen's team, a small team, she's one of the stronger players of the team. So she has to play a lot of the post players defensively and offensively. She's at a high post of when she plays all around. But she, it's a testament. Like I said, you talk about coach. Like we're not going to be our talk today. Coach has set up a coach over there where girls are just going to go out there and play regardless of whatever the role is, whatever. Hey, last year you're a point guard. This year you're going to be a forward. Whatever it is, she's out there producing and doing it at a high level. You know what I mean? So,
Toom, tell me about how she's doing. I got to cover Parkland girls once or twice, maybe 3 times last year. Delaney Chilcote. Now, when those other 2,000-point scorers graduated, I assumed this was going to be kind of like her team. How's she doing?
Yeah, Delaney, she's doing great. Last night she had 14 points against them. She's definitely one of the lead. I would think one of the top guards in the area. She committed to Susquehanna. Susquehanna commit, so she'll be going to Susquehanna to play there next year. So she's definitely one of the top guards in the area, and she's having a great season. Having started the season as Parkland right now is 11-5 and currently ranked number 4 in our ranking. So, well, I want to transition to you, Tommy, to our number 10 team in our ranking with Notre Dame Green Pond. I think you got to see them against Wilson as well. Notre Dame Green Pond, number 10 in our rankings. Drop us some notes. What happened? Tell us about Notre Dame Green Pond.
I did. I saw that first. I can't believe that Coach Kopp is in his 21st season. That should make us all feel a little old. I remember like when he was brand new there. So he's in his 21st season. But look, he's got a great program. They play excellent defense. They pressure the ball. Wilson is having a really good season. They have a semi-new coach, Coach Arapre, Megan, who had a very successful career at Salisbury.
Wait, hold on. Megan Arapre's the coach over there?
Correct, at Wilson.
Okay, the ball player, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
She looks me eye to eye. Yeah. So she's about 6'5". So I think and I actually have it right here. So her career record is 21-35, and this year they're 9-4. So the quick math tells you that her first 2 years they were not very good. So they're doing very well this year. And Notre Dame just kind of took them apart. They're just it's a system right there, right? They just play solid defense. They pressure you. They turn Wilson over almost on every other possession. It seemed like they had a inside Addison Ryan. I wanted to shout her out, just dominating the paint. We all know that it's such a guards game anymore, but Ryan was like a double machine in there for the Lady Crusaders. Wilson tried to make a run. They have a very good player, the freshman. Her name, as I have to look it up. Sorry, Juliana Bonham, averaging about 16 a game as a freshman, so that's very impressive. But Notre Dame kind of put the clamps on her. They led wire to wire won the game by 20 going away. So look, they're in I don't want to say a weaker class, but I think in 3A girls they should be the heavy favorite to win the girls district championship. And obviously they'll be up against Northwestern in the Colonial League playoffs, but never count out a Coach Kopp team.
Wow, you picked Notre Dame, they are the top 3A team right now. I'm looking there. Sitting at number 1, the number 2 team is New Hope. Number 3 team is Schuylkill Haven and so forth. So good points out there. They do look like one of the top teams for sure. But so sticking on the girls, that's pretty much wraps up our girl coverage. I feel like for the evening here, we gotta cover a lot of girls action out there. We got last things, man. Coach Medina, you've been seeing a lot of Liberty, obviously as well. they've been playing very well. They are a number 2 team right now in the rankings. Tell us about some of the players out there. I love, like I said, I talked earlier, I love their size. They have when they play big, I think that's the edge that they might have. Now, a lot of teams don't have. I mean, a lot of teams are playing small ball right now, but those 2 bigs, obviously your daughter's out there as a freshman guard who's contributing to the team as a starter and great things. But Ava's obviously showing well. And is it Jones?
Well, I'll say the seniors, you know, Shauna Beatty, you got Nija Davis and
Davis.
Those 3 kids have really stepped up, you know, being in the program and just coming up through the program. Their senior leadership, pulling kids aside. I've seen it. You know, big shout out to them. Big shout out to the bench. I have to say, you know, those kids, they celebrate one another. Just watching that, you know, up close, seeing just the celebration that they have for each other. That says a lot, especially this time of year. You know, they're buying in. Shout out to the staff over there, Coach Carnes, Coach McDonald, doing a great job. And Ava, you know, what can you say? She is an awesome, we'll use your term, she's an awesome kid, you know, just awesome on the floor, but more importantly, what she does behind the scenes. You know, I get the first dibs from Kendall and, you know, just pulling Kendall aside and talking to her in practice, and just the way that she goes about it kind of sets the tone for that team, and it's working now. But you know what? Hey, still a long season to go. I know they have some big goals, and you know, we talk about staying humble, staying hungry, and they're doing a great job. But I really like the Davis kid, man. She plays great defense, but she's just like kind of, we talk about glue girls. She is a glue girl, you know, a kid that just does a little bit of everything for the team, and you know, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Nia Davis, I saw a game, I think
Morning Call Player of the Week. She was just named Morning Call Player of the Week. Yes, so awesome. Shout out to her as well.
Indeed. Well, Coach Medina, man, this is your first of we hope to be several more occasions of you coming in here and just dropping all those championship gems that you have, because you got a lot of championship gems, and we need your expertise out here. So continue on, man. We appreciate you coming through. Keep watching the games, because we're going to need your expertise back here on the Awesome Show.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out, Coach Tracy Shear. This upcoming Sunday, it's the Special Needs Basketball Clinic from 2 to 3 at Northampton High School. For those of us that, you know, hey, get out and support. That's a great cause. She does a wonderful job in everything that she does for the Lehigh Valley Senior All-Star Classic Committee. So want to give a shout out there. And this Sunday, 2 to 3 at Northampton High School is the Special Needs Basketball Clinic.
Now, man, Jose, that's why we got you here, man. Look at that, man. Appreciate you dropping that, man. That's great news.
Are you involved in that, Jose?
Yes. I'm part of the committee.
Coach Schneider?
Yes, and what a wonderful group of people on that committee, and they do a great job. And Tracy, unbelievable, you know, her work ethic and the things that she does from a leadership standpoint behind the scenes in the Lehigh Valley. I got my nice Lehigh Valley basketball shirt on here. So, but want to give her a shout out and all that she does.
No, man, we appreciate you doing that, man, Jose, man. Thanks once again, man, for joining us here on Game Night Live. It's getting late, you know, but hey, you know, this is what we do, Game Night Live. You know, it gets a little late, but we're going to cover the topics. We're going to cover the topics and get them out there. So thank you once again, Coach, man. We'll definitely be seeing you soon.
Tom, Keith.
Good to see you, Jose.
Hey, you guys take care. Thank you.
All right. Here, Game Night Live here. Is this we're just missing Coach Atia out to join us out here, man. It's getting near Awesome Fest, you know, throwdown time where we're, you know, the lights are dim. We're getting under the tent. It's getting late.
This is something we should be doing next July. Definitely under the tent, late night. We're there anyway. Let's do this out there.
Now that's a great idea.
You know, I probably won't have a Coke Zero in my hand under the tent, but I'll have a beverage in my hand.
It's funny you say that, because I texted Toomey about that last week and said we need to get a sponsor for the show, and it starts with a Miller and ends with a light, and then that's a spot. Yeah.
Speaking of Coach Atia, two things. We saw Dennis McWhite a little bit earlier, a picture of him. He is going to be one of 4 inductees into the Allen Hall of Fame. They do that on February the 1st, I believe, between the JV and the varsity. I'm sorry, no. Between games of the girl-boy doubleheader between Allen and Diff. I'm sorry, mixed that up. But Dennis is going in there. Terrence Roderick is going in there. Wayne Gooch Thomas is going in there. And I know somebody who has meant a lot to a lot of Allen athletes over the years. Amy Cotter or Coder?
Amy Cotter.
Cotter. She has done a fantastic job as a trainer. I think, Randy starts trends.
Yeah.
And you watch now, you're going to see a lot of trainers go into Hall of Fame. I think she's the first that I can remember going in to a school's Hall of Fame. Well deserved. I'm hoping to get out there to see Terrence, Gooch, certainly Dennis. We see a lot of him anyway because he's an official. I forgot that he was a very talented track star and also played some football for the Canaries. So well deserved by Dennis McWhite. Now the other thing is, and I did this on Twitter earlier today, Mr. Brown, the star receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles, who I hope is shut down on Sunday. But anyway, I hope he doesn't bring a book with him, but a lot of publicity about the book he was reading on the sideline this past Sunday. But AJ Brown coming to Allen High School. I believe it is May. You can look on Twitter, but I think it's like May the 5th or something like that. What a great catch for Allen to have him and have a great clinic that I think should be well attended by Allentown kids, and everybody in the Valley, I guess, is welcome. But big get for Coach Atia and the Allen football program.
Yeah, 100%. AJ Brown coming through, doing his clinic at J. Bernie Crum Stadium here this spring. So big time stuff here. But we'll quickly let's jump over. We're gonna get more here to the boys stuff. I want to bring up Keith's rankings here for the boys here. Keith's Dandy Dozen. That he has, his new rankings will be coming up, I believe, on Monday, Keith. But as of Monday, this is his rankings here. We're Central at 1 and Pocono West at 2, Liberty 3, Whitehall at 4, Parkland at 5, Notre Dame at 6, got Northwestern at 7, Lee Heighton at 8, the Canaries at 9, Pocono East at 10, Nazareth at 11, and Wilson at 12. So, before we go, Tommy, you've seen, you got to action, saw some your alma mater, I believe, right? You got to see your alma mater, the Nazareth Blue Eagles in action, taking on Pocono West. Tell us about that.
Well, West, you have them to their
I'm sorry, Tommy. See if you can unmute yourself, Tommy.
No, I didn't know I was muted to him. Sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't.
That was on me, I'm sure.
Okay,
but anyway, start over.
Okay. So as I was saying, they have 2 of the top 5 players in the league, probably, in Coles, the shooter. Right there, you look at Brito. Brito looks like he's in the wrong gym. He looks like he should be playing in a D2 gym, which I guess he will be since he's committed to East Stroudsburg. But he's just a monster. He's too big for many local high school guys to defend. Look at him right there, spin move in a jam. He can pass the ball. He can rebound it. He can shoot it from the outside. He's an all-around player. They have nice complementary players. They play good defense. Richie Williams has been there for a lot of years doing his thing. So they in Central, I think, obviously are in Tier 1. Nazareth, they had some guys sick last night. They have some nice pieces and some nice players. They're in that second or third tier. They're hoping to make the league playoffs. Probably will scrape into districts. I think next year might be their year as they got some good young kids coming up the pipeline.
Tommy, I think there's a bunch that are in that. Now, remember, Toomey said, I did those rankings and I had a Nazareth 11 at the start of the week. They've had a tough week. Actually, it started last Friday when they lost to Liberty. They lost 3. I believe they lost 3 games this week.
4 in a row.
4 in a row. It's 4 in a row overall. It started last Friday with Liberty. Them, Freedom, Northampton, you could put them all in the same tent. They're unpredictable. Maybe even Becca might belong. I can't get a read on them. I really can't. They look so good one night and they struggle the next. And I hate to say this because they had such a great start, but Allen has kind of fallen into that category. A tough one for the Canaries. They gave Liberty a great battle the other night. They led most of the game, but Jake Puxon just tore him up with 36 points. And the kid named Chase Dussault hit a couple big threes. And it's Allen just is there, but they can't quite get over the hump. There's a bunch of teams. Clearly, Tommy, and I think that I'm very solid with the first four. 1A, 1B, Pocono West, Central Catholic. I have Liberty solidly in the third spot, and I have Whitehall in the fourth. I moved Parkland all the way up to 5 because I thought they played Central York really tough. Central York, the defending 6A state champion. They really played them down to the wire last week. I see them coming. I don't see them in the top 4 yet, but they're knocking on the door, and they're going to be somebody you really don't want to play in either the EPC or the 6A tournament. They're coming on. They're looking like they did last summer when they won the A-Town Throwdown in another tournament. So watch out for Toombs Trojans. They are coming.
Mm-hmm. I like to hear that. I like to hear that, especially this time of year. The Trojans are coming. The Trojans are coming. It just seems like a repetitive theme. I don't care if you're talking in the fall or in the winter. The Trojans, playoff time, the Trojans are coming. We're going to come here, talk about Tuesday's night game, Allen and Liberty, with Jake Puxton had a dynamite night. We started talking about him to start the night, Keith. Just tell us about that game, that action out there, and talk about Jake's performance.
Well, Jake just peppered him.
I'm sorry, Keith, unmute yourself real quick. I'm sorry, just unmute yourself real quick. It's from me doing it. Can you see one more time? There you go.
Okay. No, he could do so many things. I mean, they needed him to score. Nigel Long said, hey, we wanted him to score tonight. He went on and scored 36. He also had, don't forget, he had like 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He also defended Keith Jackson, giving up several inches. Look at him. I mean, he was on fire that night. Allen had no answers. Now, I am a little concerned about that Allen defense because they came out the next 2 nights later and Vigo scored 42 against the Canaries. Yeah, they got to tighten. You want to make a run in the league or district tournament. First of all, you got to get there, but hey, you got to play better defense. The Canaries are giving up way too many open looks. But Jake is, I think I said this in my interview with him, Toom, and Tom, you can chime in. There's a group now that's forming that I think we have a conversation about player of the year. Jake is coming on strong. I'm not putting him in there as the forerunner right now. I still have to go Brito and Vigo, but he's definitely put himself in the conversation when we talk about players of the year. If he keeps playing like that, he had 3 great games in a row. He keeps doing stuff like that for the next month. He's got to be in the conversation. But still, I have Vigo. I still have Brito at the top.
Yeah, for sure, man. You want to say something, Tommy, on that?
Well, I would say this. It depends on how you want to define it, right? Is it most valuable? Like if you take Puxon off of Liberty, they're probably struggling a lot more than Central and Pocono West are going to struggle if you take Brito and Vigo off. If you take Vigo off, you have Mush Rush and you have other guys. If you take Brito off, as good as those guys are, you have Coles and some other guys. If you take Puxon off with some of the attrition that Liberty had,
500 team. You're absolutely right.
They're struggling. Now, you don't really vote that way when you vote for things. It's who's the best player. So he probably is not as versatile all around as Brito just because of their size difference. But certainly when he's putting up numbers like 9, 9, and 5 to go with 36, I mean, that's pretty remarkable against a good team too. So
I do know this. I mean, in one of the first shows we did, Toomey, remember I was coming down from Pocono West on Friday night. That's like a month ago now. But he did not play well that night. He had a horrible night. I'm talking about Jake Puxon. He is not going to let that happen. If they match up with Pocono West, either in the league or the 6A tournament, Jake is going to be highly motivated. He's going to play much better. He was like, I don't know, he was like 3 for 15 or something like that. He's not going to have that kind of a night again. Now, Brady Bear, and I know, Tommy, you saw him. Brady Bear is their defensive stopper for Richie Williams. He did a good job on Jake the first time they played, but Jake still had a lot of makeable shots. They just wouldn't drop. They meet again. I think Puxon could make that game a lot more competitive just by playing a little bit better. And the way he's playing lately, I'll tell you what, he's coming on strong.
Indeed, man. I mean, she's playing very well. And I think the point you made, Keith, you talked about Pocono West game. That was about 3 weeks ago or so. What I've noticed here, these football players are starting.
They're coming. Definitely is the case with the Parkland guys.
I saw Blake the other night. I think you had the Central York game. He had 20, 23 points or so. These football guys are starting to get their legs, they're starting to get their handles, starting to get their shot right. It takes time. It takes about a month, 40 days or so to really, kind of get back in that flow. And these guys are starting to get back into it. You're going to start seeing some of these athletes that played in the fall really start excelling at this point right now, moving on to the rest of the season. But real quick here, you talked about Jake's interview. Let's bring him up.
Besides that, you had 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Talk about your effort tonight. I think you come out, you hit the first shot, and you're on your way.
I'm just going to do whatever I can to help our team win, and today our brothers need me to score, so I try to get to the rim and score. Well, other days it's me passing, grabbing rebounds, playing defense, so we're just going to do whatever we can to win.
You figured this was going to be a competitive game because Allen's got a lot of talent. They had 5 guys in double figures tonight.
Yeah. Allen's a very talented team. It's so hard to guard him out there. I keep Jackson, T. Wise, Manny, so they got a ton of guys who can score the basketball, so we just need to stay in front and rebound.
I keep asking, what do you think about this team? I mean, you're right there. Maybe Central's has a little bit better record, maybe Pocono West, but you're right there as right now in the 3 spot.
I think we started the year a little bit slow, but we're competing so hard now, playing as a team, and we're just keep picking up, which is great because the playoffs are on the way.
You enjoy tell me about your feelings about this game, because you come off a grind of a football season, went a little long. You get in the districts this year, had 11 games. How do you approach this sport, though? Because this was your sport, then it seemed like football took over, and now I kind of feel like, hey, you can play for me in basketball if you want.
It's just after football season, trying to obviously get healthy first, and then just getting in the gym, working as hard as I can. It's a good switch because, you go from basketball to football, you like to switch. You go to football from basketball, you like to switch. Obviously, you do different things, so it's just helping my body get better as an overall athlete.
Yeah, quite the athlete indeed. Jake Puxon is turning out to show he is. I think a Division I, probably FCS level football player when it's all said and done. And, we'll see if, basketball, if you try to be basketball, what level he end up being for there. But he's definitely, looking like a scholarship level athlete for sure.
Toom, I'm going to throw this out to you too. Blake Hargrove, a big part of this Liberty program the previous 2 years. Liberty went to the district final each of the last 2 years, lost to Parkland and Nick Koval each time, gave them great games. Then they lost in overtime in the first round of states the last 2 years. I see Jake, it's great to have a lot of talent, but I think a lot of times Jake felt like, especially one year when he came off the football team, this is kind of like Blake's team. Blake's running the show. Now, Blake is gone. Blake is over at Princeton, the Hun School. I want to get your opinion. I see maybe Jake saying, hey, I don't have to worry about making sure he gets the ball. I see a little bit more freedom in Jake's game. Now, I'm sure Jake would say instantly he would love to have Blake Hargrove as a teammate. He would love to have Dwayne Tress still there too. And if they had those guys, I don't want to take anything away from anybody. They would be clear-cut favorites to win 6A and maybe even win some games in the state tournament had all those guys stayed. 2 of them are gone. But I think Jake maybe is playing with a little bit more freedom right now. Toom, these guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I appreciate you, Keith. How it is when a player leaves a team, now, more onus, more responsibility falls onto you. So, Jake has taken that on and he's putting the team on his back and got his Superman chest on, Superman cape on, and he's really going full throttle on that. But yeah, I fully agree with you on that, man. Obviously, to advance, to be a championship level team, a state contending team, you need pieces. You need more pieces out there. And I think, I love my Valley and no question and so forth, but to have Dwayne Chess leave and Blake Hargrove leave, obviously 2 good players, and Liberty is still when you have them, I think you're a top
a
3 team in our area. I don't know how that really shows well about how we're doing as a whole outside of the Lehigh Valley outside. But Jake is definitely he sees an opportunity. He sees what his team needs. I think he said that in the interview about knowing what his team needs, and he's defining that. His team needs to set guys up and get them some easy baskets. He's going to hook them up. If his team needs him to get a bucket, he's going to do that. Previously with Blake there, obviously Blake and Jake handled the ball up, but I think Blake handled it a little bit more. So, he was more facilitating, shooting it a little bit more. But Jake is really taking his leadership role on, and is really pushing forward and is really hitting his stride right now when Liberty needs him. Tommy boy, any quick questions any quick thoughts on Liberty before we move on?
Well, I think you guys said it correctly. I mean, where would they be with those two guys? But I think you've said it on prior shows. Like, credit to Nigel. I mean, he just goes about his business, right? Keith, Toom, I coached Nigel years ago, and you knew he was going to be a coach. He was a freshman playing on those very, very good teams we had at Freedom, and he'd stick around and ask questions to us after practice, to the point that we would be like, I don't want to say annoyed that he was asking us questions, but he was almost like asking questions just for the sake of asking questions, and you could tell he had a cerebral mind. He was going to be a coach one day. And that he gets that from his dad. His dad's been around in the AU circuit for a while. And he didn't panic when those guys left. He just said, here's the hand that I got. We're going to coach these guys up, and we're going to do things the right way. And that's why they've been successful. He knows what he's doing. He's got a good staff with him for sure. They just stay the course. They're going to win some games. They're going to lose some games. He's got a great player. And the other guys just raise their game up, and it's next man up. And the players get that from Nigel. And I'm not surprised at all that's what they're doing over there at Liberty.
Liberty plays in Toomey. I know you've been out there for years. It's become a big, kind of a big deal at Berks County, which they have a lot of great things out there. But they have this Geigel showcase, all day basketball at the Great Geigel Complex, and I know Liberty's in the middle of that day at 3:30 game against Hazleton. And, kind of whets the appetite. A lot of people have been asking me, what's that schedule out there, Geigel? And then they start asking me about February 2nd, which is, of course, the Lehigh Valley Hoop Group Showcase. And we got some great mega talent, as well as some great local talent. Sure. Parker's in there, Pocono Mountain West is in there. But let me ask you one more, Toom.
Yeah.
This thing, and I know you're at the forefront, people really love the showcase concept. They get to go to one gym. I don't know what the cost is, but they pay one cost, but they could see 4 or 5, maybe as many as 6 games, and it's one big matchup after another. This concept, I think, is really taken off. And, I think the college people, I don't know if this is an open period for them, but, I mean, if you're a college coach, man, you got to love it. You just sit there all day, maybe go get a hot dog between games, but you can watch a lot of great talent in one day.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Hoop Group was one of the leaders in starting that off. Obviously, we know what they did here to get that started here in the late 90s and so forth. But the showcase event, like you said, gives opportunities for, like you said, for media, for coaches to come and see a lot of talent all in one shot, one day, and so forth. But speaking of the showcase, and so when you mentioned Parkland is also in an event also as well this Saturday. They're down in Westchester University,
right? Coatesville.
You'll be taking on Coatesville as well, so that's another mega.
And Allen's playing DC International. That's a great pickup for them.
Yep, Martin Luther King Day's event down in Philadelphia that Allen's playing in. So yeah, these teams, especially and it's weird because back in the 90s and back in my days, and teams were a little hesitant. They weren't going out as much as often to playing some of these different teams and so forth in these different showcases. But much credit to the coaches that are out here now. They are really pushing these kids and get them in a lot of different events and give them this exposure that is so desperately needed for our students in this area. So shout out to these coaches who are doing that and
more creative things. And speaking of more creative things, I have to get this in, and you have another executive alum on the right side of my screen here. Okay. You know what I'm doing tomorrow at 2:30 p.m.?
Who's playing? Who's playing, Keith? Central
I'm
Catholic
going
and
to
who?
Rocky Hall.
Who's Central Catholic
See
playing?
the Rappers. I give Central Catholic so much credit. It's about time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for you guys out there who just want to penalize people. And look, it is what it is. Executive is a great program. Obviously, different circumstances this year. They're not allowed for PIAA, not allowed for District 11. But, Ray Barbosa, great program. They're rebuilding, kind of resetting things. They got some young talent. But I think it's great for Allentown Central Catholic. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me because I know both of you guys spend time at executive. I can't I'm sorry. Pocono Mountain West played them, of course, last year. But the first, what I would consider Lehigh Valley EPC school to play them is tomorrow at Allentown Central Catholic. And I'm going to be there. It should be a real interesting matchup. Those two schools are less than 3 miles apart. You go across the bridge over there, American Parkway Bridge. Man, I'm excited to see what they have. It should be a good game tomorrow. I expect Central Catholic to win, but it's going to be fun to see. And I'm so happy that maybe the door is cracked open a little bit, the more opportunities for executive.
Yeah, I agree. It's good to see that. And we're all here. I don't question the timing on that. You said it, executives rebuilding, and all of a sudden now a game is being played. There was no one wanting to play when there was Kobe McGee running out there and Jevin Muniz running out there, and Mustafa Sano and all these people. No one wanted to play. Now all of a sudden they're young, they're inexperienced, and Central is the number one team in the area.
I'm still going to give Central Catholic credit because I believe these games got to be set up well in advance. And there's a good possibility. I don't know. I don't know when the game was set, but I will say that, even at the start of the summer, a lot of those guys were still that transferred out. Hornberger comes to mind. They were still at executive. Now, with all the stuff that revolving around Coach Barbosa and the sanctions and so forth, a lot of those guys jump ship. So I don't know that Central Catholic said, they're not going to be that strong. We'll play them. I don't think so. I don't think that's how Dennis Census operates. And Kali Nosovich, I don't think that's how they operate. No matter how it came about, Toom, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Listen,
2:30, I'll be there at Rockney.
Kegger's right. Credit to Central for opening the door. The executives paid their penance. Everybody got what they wanted, and
Toomey's not there anymore. Let them play. They can go play right now.
Toom's gone. Everything's well. Yeah, I mean it's time. So hopefully it opens the door to other teams playing them, and hopefully when executive reloads and we get to see some better games like this on a regular basis. Yeah,
no doubt, man. I think Central's really rolling right now. Executives, they've been struggling a little bit, I feel, in the last couple of weeks. I think Central's
8-6, I believe, Toom, right now about 8-6.
8-6 right now.
They're still playing a lot of great teams, though.
They play some very good teams,
Harrisburg, I think, is still coming up in the schedule. Harrisburg, right?
Harrisburg, yeah, but sometimes the names catches you. Harrisburg is
they're
under
down
500. Yeah,
I mean, I've been waiting. Remember, I think they're playing Overbrook too, and I think of we had a Chamberlain on here earlier tonight. I'm thinking that's my man Wilt. I'm that old that he was my favorite player as a little kid, and obviously I know the story about him playing at Overbrook, and I believe that they came up here and they played Allen one time in a little palestra. But Wilt and Overbrook, but times change, and maybe Overbrook is not the way they used to be back in this, I guess, would have been in the 1950s.
Yeah, they're 78 years later.
Things have changed a little bit in Philly basketball since then. A little bit.
Yeah, there's very, some more charter schools have been in and so forth, and obviously the PCL is really loading up and taking that out. But we got a question here from the audience here. I'll let you guys, Keith, and you guys see this. Looks like Katy is on a roll. What is behind it?
I'm going to tell. Well, my take is simply that they've actually played pretty well all season. You know, they lost, I want to say, 5 games by less than 3 points. I covered them early in the season at Saucon Valley. Game they had the lead, and they had like a 12-point lead with like 3 minutes to go, and they let it slip away. Obviously, I think, first of all, I think they're playing a little softer patch of schedule right now, but I think they're learning how to finish. They're learning how to finish games. They have a lot of young talent. Frankie Pujols, Reese Lopez, whose father was a caddy legend. They have this Hamad Jenkins playing, and you know Horace Jenkins. You know, that's his son. So they're starting to put things together. They're finishing games. I'm not going to say they're the favorite to win 3A. I'm not saying they're the favorite to win the Colonial League, but they're doing a nice job. And had some of those games gone their way that they lost by 2 or 3 points, they also lost the PB in the finals of the Slatington Rotary by 1 point. Had some of those games gone their way, man, you'd see them, you know, with like 12 wins right now. I mean, I think they're 8-6. They're on a 6-game win streak, but they're playing great basketball. Eric Snyder's gone through some tough times. He's a great coach, a friend of mine. I have to admit,
sure,
a personal friend of mine. He says he watches the show. I don't know if he's an old man, so I don't know if he's still up here at 10 minutes to midnight. But hey, I'm happy for him. They've gone through a lot of tough years up there, and I think he's having fun. And I think they're going to be a team you want to watch in the postseason.
Well, there it is, right there. Keith Groller dropping the gems for the caddy. The Rough Riders. Rough Riders are definitely
it's not Raptors.
We're not quite the Raptors, but you know we'll get some for Coach Snyder, man. Shout out Coach Snyder, who's been there for, man, how many years, Keith? About Coach
33.
33. Wow, that's simply amazing out there for.
And he coached the Peaburg girls. I don't know if you know this. He started his career over at Peaburg as the girls coach. But caddy's always been in his blood. You know, he's a caddy guy through and through.
Oh man, we'll drop another question here from the audience out here. Who's everyone's favorite to take the EPC in this moment? I'll drop the Toom bomb out here, man. It's hard not to like Central right now. Vigo he's physically shown he's a senior. He's just getting the ball 1 or 2 dribbles, going to the rim, boom, and really bringing the boom. It's hard not to like Central. Dennis Senses is a championship quality coach. So when you have those two teams together, it's hard to take Central. I'm gonna drop you maybe a Toom, maybe a surprise out there. Somebody to keep your eyes on out there. Make sure you keep your eyes on out there. And I would say, Keith, my Toom surprise out there, I'm going to go with my guy, Coach Darnell Braswell. All right, Coach Darnell. I know the Canaries, they've struggled in Liberty, and they took the loss to Central. I watched that game. Things got away a little bit, but Coach Darnell, I think he has a way of inspiring those students. And I think when those time comes down the stretch here, Coach Darnell is going to have those Canaries ready to go, and they could be a surprise team for the EPC playoffs. Districts don't even just put Parkland. Put your map on it. Parkland's always going to win that. There's no question on that. EPC, Central's tough, but keep an eye out there for Allen. Go ahead, fellas.
Keith, all right. Look, I think the chalk, the favorites would obviously be Central and Pocono Mountain West to make the finals. I'm going to go off the board here a little bit and give you somebody that I think can make the finals. It all depends on how the bracket goes. I think a team to watch, and I thought this is what you were going to say to him, but you didn't. I think is Whitehall. I think the Zephyrs. Okay, it's been a long time since Jones has had that team in a championship game, either districts or leagues. They have some nice pieces. I know that they got almost knocked off tonight against a rebuilding Emmaus team, but Emmaus is playing much better here the last couple of weeks, rounding into form a little bit. So I don't know. I just have a feeling that the Zephyrs are going to get somebody. I think we might see them in a championship game. Can they pull off 2 upsets in a row? Maybe not. But I think I like to take my chance and off the board here with Whitehall.
Kiger? EPC.
Poking them out. Well, certainly Whitehall's due. They haven't won anything since Jason Green played there, and that's not 20 years ago. So they're definitely due. I think they have a shot. I think Liberty's got a shot, but I still got to go with Pocono Mountain West and Central Catholic. And at the start of the year, I went, I went in my mind. I don't know if I ever put it out in print, but West has got the best starting five. Okay. Don't forget, everybody talks about Coles and Brito, and deservedly so. They're both scoring machines. But Brady Bear is the glue. He moves the ball. He's a stopper defensively. Jonathan Mateo and the other fella, Silva, they both have been experienced. They just got to get over this mental, and I'm going to say it's a mental thing. They come to the PPL Center and things don't go well. So if they could just get over this mental block of coming to Allentown, I think they have the best starting five. I think maybe Central might have the best player in Vigo, but I think the best starting five is Pocono Mountain West. They're not super deep. I'm still going to go with West and Central in the league championship game. Now, obviously, Central, when we get to districts, Central drops down to 4A, so that's a whole different thing. Right. But in terms of the league, I'm still going to go with. Where's my shirt? Where's my shirt? I got to get the shirt back out.
There he is, Richie.
And I'll wear anybody's shirt, if I get a free shirt. But hey, look it. There you go.
There it is.
I still might pick for an EPC champion. 6A could be an entirely different deal, but West has got to get through this mental block of coming PPL Center and leaving with tough losses.
That goes way back to the very first year on that magical night, like 8 years ago, yep. Keith, when they lost to Emmaus in that semifinal game before the legendary Parkland Allen game. They were probably, I know Emmaus had the Cackleries brothers, but Pocono had 3 1,000-point scores. They were probably a better team, and they just didn't play well. I don't know what, if it was the moment or the lights or the people, but they just probably lost the game they shouldn't have. And ever since, you're right, it's just been difficult for them down there.
Indeed. Oh man. All right. The awesome show, Game Night Live. Man, quite the edition here tonight, gentlemen. Quite the edition here tonight.
Listen,
we keep setting new records for length of show.
Toom, listen, for you basketball junkies that are still watching, all right, please. For us basketball junkies still watching. First of all, we have such a wide audience, Toom. I got a message a little bit ago. One of my buddies, who has a son in the ranks of the Emmaus youth programs. I don't know Coach Mack at all, but he said that the LMYA, the Lower Mack Youth Association, loves Coach Mack because he came to their evaluations for the youngsters. So, wow. and that's a boys program. So you could tell he's putting in the time down at the lower levels to keep his program on the way up. But that was not what I wanted to say. My thing was, for you hoop junkies now at midnight, go to FS1. We have an outstanding Mountain West game on. New Mexico in the pit against Boise State. Toom, I know you've told me about, you've watched him before. Donovan Dent, one of the best guards, one of the best point guards in the country, one of the best atmospheres in the country down in the pit. New Mexico and Boise, rivalry, hard-fought game. I think it was a 4-point game last time I checked, so we can watch the second half. FS1 for you basketball junkies. I don't care if it's midnight. Let's go.
Tommy, you are Mr. Mountain West. I love it. As somebody who kind of still roots a little bit for UNLV, the Running Rebels, remembering Tark the Shark. Hey, it's good basketball out there. I got to be rooting. I'm jumping ship of my UCLA Bruins. Cronin's got to go. He's just a nasty man. I don't know if you got to take on the UCLA Bruins. I'm probably the only guy that cares about UCLA.
He's angry.
I grew up with, but
he's angry and bitter lately.
He is angry, and he never takes responsibility. It's always the player's fault.
Yeah, he throws.
He's not going to get recruits out there.
Yeah, he likes to throw people under the bus. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was a little. I hear what he's saying. I mean, but
maybe once in a while. This act is starting to wear thin. It's. I mean, sure. And they're finding out as the football programs, and I like USC football and UCLA basketball since I'm a little guy. Big Ten is a step up from where they were, and I think it's going to take the Bruins and the Trojans. Now, women, different story. I've become a big-time women's basketball fan, and UCLA and USC are both UCLA's number 1 in the country.
Right.
USC with Juju Watkins in the top 5. I think they might be 4. I'm much more interested in what they're going to do this March. But Cronin, so disappointed. I keep waiting for another John Wooden to walk through that door, and it's just not happening.
Oh man, I mean, it's not what's his name, man? My guy from my guy with the slick hair, man.
Steve Lavin.
Steve Lavin,
he still coaches at San Diego in the West Coast Conference. They get smoked every night. He just collecting paychecks and living in beautiful San Diego right now. He's kind of
they've had some bad coaches out there, and some good ones that they ran out, I thought, but they've had some bad coaches, and Lavin was certainly in the negative category. And also the guy, what's the guy from Indiana, the star player from Indiana who coached out there? They ran him out too.
Alford.
Oh, Steve Alford. He's at Nevada right now in the Mountain West. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's your conference, man. You know that.
He does do the Mountain West, man. You do
a blog. You do a blog, right? On that.
I started the pod. I have the pod. The pod's doing really well. So we get a lot of I try to emulate what Toom's doing here. We got a live stream on Saturday nights after the action wraps up. A guy from out in Colorado. We're coast to coast here, and so we get thousands of viewers to come in from Utah State and New Mexico, and they come in from all over because those Mountain West programs, they don't have pro sports in a lot of those cities. So they're fanatical about their college hoops out there.
Man, Tom, I love that you found your niche with that, man. With that, and Tom, what's your thing? Mouth of the Mountain. What's your
so the podcast is Top of the Mountain West.
Top of the mountain.
You should get to try. You should get to live out there and travel around those arenas out there.
I should. Well, I'm waiting for somebody, just like Toom. I'm waiting for somebody to call me with an offer. We'll see. But unfortunately, as Toom knows, we talked about this, and you've probably seen it, Keith. But the Mountain West is going to split off in about a year and a half because the Pac-12, those Washington State and Oregon State, they didn't really want to accept that they got ditched, unfortunately, because they're in small markets. So they poached the better half of the teams from the Mountain West. So the Mountain West is going to have some issues in a year and a half. So Tommy Boy's going to have to figure out what we're going to do here. So we'll have to make a decision at some point.
Well, Tommy, man, well, thank you, man, for joining us out here today. And we took you away from. We got a little late and took you away from your Mountain West action here tonight.
That's what the record function's for in a DVR, and you can fast forward it. You don't have to watch commercials, and I'll get caught up, and I'll be. I'll tweet some stuff out, and on my followers.
They're waiting for the live tweets, Tommy. They love the live tweets.
I know. Listen, Toom, I'm gonna go on now, and they're gonna be like, "Where are you? No tweets," because I'm not tweeting about the game. So they need my commentary, man. I do provide like fair and balanced stuff, so they like to hear that.
I've noticed that, man. I've noticed that, and you answer the questions on the comments and get to the comments and get to all of them. So. You're definitely doing your thing with that, man, Tommy, man. So,
Tommy, you're a great guy. I tell you what, I mean, working with you under the tent for many, many years, you are a first class guy, and I'm glad you're getting some notoriety. I wish it was around here in the Valley.
I know. Well,
this show could change everything for you, though. But
that's true. But you know what? It's just a supply. It's like economics. It's like supply and demand. I mean, there's plenty of people covering the Big Ten. So somebody just kind of stepping in is going to have a difficult time doing that. But nobody's really covering the Mountain West unless they're covering it for their specific team. So I kind of went that avenue. But we'll see what happens. But look, like I enjoy doing this stuff because of the people. Like I love you guys. And like Toom said, when we first got it, just the three of us here, all we needed to do was add Randy. There's just a lot of good people as all hoop fans in the Valley know. And that's why I love coming around and do this stuff. So I appreciate you guys having me on.
Well, I'd like to stay up in, was it Boise and New Mexico State?
Just New Mexico and Boise. Yeah, it's probably about the half right now. So you can stay up another hour and watch the second half, Keith.
I think it's bedtime for me. I got to put on my Polka Dot Mountain West T-shirt, and I'm gonna hit the hay here soon because I got to get plenty of rest because I'm seeing one more time.
Oh, we go tomorrow, Keith. Who you going to see tomorrow, Keith? You gotta go see the Raptors out there tomorrow night. So and those who are interested, because I know there are a lot of people interested in this here. New Mexico and Boise are playing right now. And live spread is at 24.5. New Mexico 24.5. If you want to go check that game out and get some live action, New Mexico 24. They're smashing. Boys.
They must be drilling them then. Yeah.
Yeah, they're smashing. 48-21 is the halftime score.
Wow. All right. Well, the pit is rocking down there in Albuquerque in elevation. That's what makes the Mountain West great to them. You played elevation. You got half teams at sea level, half teams at elevation. So it's an added factor.
Without question. It's like also a lot of coaches, there was somewhere that they come back over. So you got Patino, he's over here.
Richard Patino, yep.
Alford,
Steve Alford. You got you got
Perry's moving around all the time.
He's gonna be there soon. He'll be there soon, man. But the awesome show, Game Night Live. We appreciate everybody here for tuning in here tonight. We'll be back next Friday. 9:45. Hopefully, there'll be another Friday. Keith will definitely be in action somewhere, I'm sure.
I'll be back in action next Friday. This was too unusual for me.
He'll not have another Friday off, and we'll get him out and see that. So hopefully, we'll see Rams, Eagles. Keith, what's the score? What's the final score going to be?
I think the Eagles are too tough at home.
Eagles are too tough at home.
I say 30-17.
Wow.
Sadly, hope I'm wrong.
There it is, man. So the awesome show, Toomey Anderson, Keith Groller, Tom Moser, our guest here today. We'll see you next Friday for Game Night Live.
See you, fellas.